Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I am Eric Johansson, a teacher with LSAT Demon. With me today is Ben Olson, co-founder of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast Thinking LSAT. Today, an email from Anonymous.
All right. Anonymous writes, longtime listener, first-time emailer. Thanks to the Demon, I've raised my practice test scores into the high 170s. Okay, damn.
Nice.
And I'm feeling confident about my official exams. Today, I actually have a character and fitness question for both of you. Okay. About 6 months ago, I was arrested at a protest, given an order to appear in court for failure to disperse at the scene of a protest. Okay. Which is a misdemeanor. I showed up to my court date, was told that no charges had been filed by the police. They have up to 1 year from the arrest to file them. And told to call and check periodically. Wow, that's really interesting. I would assume that if they filed the arrest or filed the charges, the court would notify you. But I guess you have to proactively find out whether or not you've been charged. Okay.
Yeah.
I called the court last week and the status is the same. No charges filed. Most likely charges will never be filed. This is the only citation I've ever received and my academic record is clean. I know that I should disclose this arrest on a character and fitness section of an application, as character and fitness questions specifically ask if you have been cited for a misdemeanor or if you have charges pending. Is cited, what's the cited for a misdemeanor? Is that the same as being arrested?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
If they say you have to tell us when you've been cited for a misdemeanor or if you have charges pending. Well, you don't have charges pending.
I don't think you have to be arrested to be cited for a misdemeanor. Because, I think there are certain, for instance, traffic violations which might rise to the level of a misdemeanor, but that you might not necessarily be arrested for. But I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, so this is lawyer shit, right? Like, do you fall in or outside of the box? You're not in the box for do you have charges pending because no charges have been filed, as far as I can tell.
I think that you would still want to include that. That would be my guess. If it were me, the way that it read charges pending, and you anticipate that law enforcement still has the opportunity to file charges for something that you were arrested for, I would be safe and still disclose that.
It is always safer to disclose, but I guess it depends on when is this time going to, end? And then at that point, do you want to apply? For all these questions, it's going to be different for each school. And in my mind, you just have to become ultra literal and say, okay, what is it asking for? Do I need to provide this or not? And if I do, then do. And if you don't, then don't. But there's another approach here, and this is something that we always talk about on the show, and that is to call your local state bar and say, hey, I have a character and fitness issue / question. Help me out here. What do you think of this situation? I guess we should keep reading, though. If my question for you guys is, A, is this character and fitness disclosure likely to have any effect on my law school admissions chances? I don't think it's going to have much of an effect.
Probably not.
Yeah, they don't know why you were protesting. You could tell them, I guess, but
I wouldn't.
All you're doing is inviting people who disagree with you to get upset and people who agree with you to wonder why you didn't disperse or what. You don't want to bring more attention to this than you need to. But for all they know, you were trying to protest some issue that was important to you. That shows, political activism. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
So should I be worried? Is your next question? No. And then your last question, how should I go about explaining the circumstances of this arrest on my applications? I think what you've done here is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I would shorten it, but I think you can just stick to the facts and say, this is what happened.
Yeah, I think you cut the speculation that charges will never be filed
Mm-hmm.
You can't make that speculation, but you should tell them, hey, I have called the court.
Yes.
And no charges have yet been filed with the court.
Yep.
But otherwise, I agree. What you've written is pretty good. Keep it factual, brief. Don't over specify like what the protest was.
Yeah. Anonymous ends. I've mostly read that this should not be an issue for admissions. We agree. But I'm still a bit nervous. The best thing you can do here, Anonymous, is apply broadly. Different schools will react to this in different ways. The vast majority, possibly all of them, will not think about it at all. But it doesn't matter because you can't control how they react. What you can do is apply broadly and let some schools that don't care about this as much as other schools accept you and give you offers.
Totally.
Okay.
Cool.
Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.